Hi everyone. Welcome to sort of Shred Week One, or jealous one, Shred Week One Q&A. I like that you're uncomfortable, but you're still coming in. So dogs when they yawn, uncomfortable. I like that I mansplained that now. Okay, buddy. All right, so let's go through. So basically, I downloaded all the form results into my notes, so I have it here. I'm just answering the questions. On average, everyone sort of scored 7 out of 10 in terms of their adherence, the diet, and the training. And yeah, so that's great. Well done. I'm just going to go through particular things. So the question was, let me know if you'd like me to explain anything in more detail. The first answer is yes, please. So still don't know what would you like me to explain? So that's for the next week. And let's just go down sort of the answers and let me just take the beast away. It's okay, Chestnut. Okay, I'm not rejecting you. I'm just talking to myself on a computer screen. Um, so it's okay. Settle. Okay, meal prep ideas. Obviously, meal prep ideas is something that is very individual. Very individual. It's hard to recommend anything. The idea is you want to do it for, if you get really bored for at least 3 days, so you can redo or make a different dish. The go-tos for me is always you have some starch, so you have some potatoes or rice or pasta. Can't fail with that. About sort of, you want to have in regular portioning. I go personally for 200. I would say I personally always go. You need to check the calories how it suits you. I always go 250 grams of potatoes, 75 grams of pasta, or 50 grams of rice per person. That's how I meal prep. Then I use some form of protein, um, usually chicken thighs or chicken breast. If I want to shred, I will, or a combination of both. So we have a bit of a more flavor from chicken thighs and a bit more, but it's not full fat. So that mixed with chicken breast, and then you can have mince. You can have if you're making stews, you can have obviously stewing braising beef. Is it? You can have lamb. You can have any sort of protein, and then loads of veggies and some sauces to make it a bit more moist. So my sort of go-tos for meal preps, I either do some form of pasta, or like I fry mince, let's say, or some other form of protein. I put can of tomatoes. I put some tomato paste, loads of spices, um, and I reduce it. Onions. I reduce it obviously slightly, and I mix it all with pasta. And you have that meat in a sauce. You have the pasta, and for example, if you want some extra flavor and thickness, you can have like a low-fat ricotta cheese, or low-fat cream cheese, and sort of make sure you blend that sauce in. You blend it into the sauce, and that's delicious. That's just that's gonna stay quite sort of. That's not gonna dry out. It's a very pleasant food to eat. But the staples. You have some protein, some starchy carbs, and fill it up with loads of veggies, and then add sort of sauces to your taste. Obviously, making sure when you use the sauces, try to go for lower calorie ones than the higher calorie ones. Not full fat mayo, but maybe the lightest mayo, or mixed mayo with mustard. All those things. So world's your oyster, and also you can't go wrong with spices, right? The more spices used, the better. The more sort of flavors on the dish is. Um, I'm quite boring. I can eat the same meal for about 4 weeks, Monday to Friday, for lunch, and then another one for dinner. It just helps me not to think. At the moment, I'm actually quite out of a crisis myself, so I just buy food, which is more expensive. But if you cook for like so many years, you meal prep. I take breaks. Like you take break from everything you do in life. So how to get more protein in each meal? Well, also, the first thing, so that's the first one. I'm closing meal prep ideas, how to get more protein in each meal. So this one, I would say, first of all, when you track, you will notice that it's not just your meat or the obvious sources of protein, your fish, your tofu, your tempeh are rich in protein, but you have a lot of veggies that are rich in protein. So that's obviously combined, that will give you a higher score. So that's first of all. So you probably are getting more protein in each meal just because you are focusing on that. But also would be increasing the protein portion as in your main protein portion per meal. So you always want to get between 20 to 40 grams of protein per meal. That should be like your absolute staple. And that would be my go-to. You either increase the main protein that you are already eating, or maybe just also track and see maybe you're already eating way more protein than you think you do. Would be good to get more high protein meal ideas. High protein meal ideas is like people posted in previous threads. They make quick yogurt with a bit of skyr, with some fruit. So it's basically combining, like I told you, you can do a low-fat cream cheese into your pasta and meat dish. That increases the protein without adding that many calories. So, you can add eggs to the dish. That increases the protein. You can add a bit of meat or a bit of prawns to the dish. That increases the protein. You can, there are some silly things, like you can use a protein bread or protein rice. Like all those things increase your protein, but also we can, don't just obsess about having everything protein, so you start eating protein sweets and stuff. Let's just have a normal life as well. Not everything has to be protein. But more high protein meal ideas is basically you increase your main protein, so you have your salmon, your chicken, your meats, your sausages. You have so many different varieties of like whatever you can do. Like the easiest way is to, when you look at the recipe, like a general recipe, and that obviously looks mainly about on idea on flavor rather than the protein content. Hi Miriam, what are you snacking on? Can't hear you. Can't hear you still. Connecting. Your internet is dog shit. Someone who works in IT, Jesus, you'd think.
I can hear you now.
I can hear you as well. So what were you eating?
A slice of my sweet potato that I had just taken out of the oven.
All right, cool. That was a very pale looking sweet potato, though. Anyway.
Okay.
That's okay.
No, a potato there.
That's okay. Let me just finish answering that question, and then it's just two of us, so I don't know if you have any questions, but yeah. So basically, how you get more protein meal ideas is you look at the normal recipe that looks at flavor, not protein, and you bump up whatever protein it suggests. So if it says sausages, you can do, if you want low fat, you do chicken sausages and you have more of them. And if it says 100 grams of rice, you do 50 or 75. And that's the easiest way to make any recipe protein rich whilst retaining flavor. So that's that sort of thing. But everyone's just protein. Jesus Christ, protein questions. Miriam, do you have any questions?
No,
because I know you didn't. He says he's going quite well for you.
Did I share the tracker with you?
Do I have a tracker? You can send me. Do you want me to go through your tracker?
I don't, not really.
Okay.
I mean, I don't want. I was just going through it right now. Yeah, I'm doing great, but the protein is mission impossible. I'm not a big meat eater. I'm doing my best, so I'm eating a lot of meat compared to my usual.
So what's your, do you mind if you share your screen with the tracker, or is that not something you're comfortable with?
My phone, I don't know how to share. I don't know how to get into this link on my computer.
Okay. What, Zoom link?
Yeah.
Or the tracker? Okay.
No, Zoom. Like, I'm going to try and join with my laptop.
It should be just a matter that you click on.
Yeah, but I don't. How do I access this app? I have this app on my phone. How
What do
do
you mean
I?
app? What do you mean? What app? Zoom app?
No, you send the link on.
Zoom.
You send the link in the app, the Icon app.
The Trainerize. I've sent a link to US Web Zoom to this what we're speaking now. And I've sent only 2 links in the history of that. That is such a messy chat. Also, never use Trainerize for shred, and I will never use that again. Because I just see what people walked. Someone walked, someone had did something. It's just a mess. So no, it's just you click on that link on Trainerize.
Yeah, but it brings me on my. It brings me.
Can you share if you have it open? Can you share a link from your mobile to your laptop?
I'm trying to do that right now. That's what I'm trying to do right now.
Do you have Apple product or Android product?
Oh, my laptop is a Mac. My
And
phone,
your
Android.
phone?
An Android.
So you could just email to yourself from your phone.
Let me see if I can.
Oh, Miriam is
Let me.
entering the room. Wait, let me check.
Recording in progress. Got it. Okay, let me get out.
That is the way. It's like you try to bump up numbers for my Q&A.
Oh my God. No. Okay, now. Yeah,
Perfect.
I can share my screen now.
So yeah, if you want to share,
Okay, because
I
I
can
never
hear
use
myself.
I use how do you share your screen with this?
So I will click on share. Yeah, if you have that, you should have that
share
button
screen.
with like an arrow up,
Okay. This
and you just click. Yeah, got you. Yeah, so if you want to click on the shred movement consultation.
Yes, I just have the bar here that doesn't let me do anything and let me move it.
Yeah, so you're trying to fly to Dubai. So if you want to click on the shred, not in a different tab. Yeah, no one needs to know when you're flying.
This is week 1.
Right. Okay. So yeah, if you look at week 1, you have your.
I also added here the percentage.
Also, how do you have week 1? You have a difference
because I added the starting weight. Because I added a starting
that's
weight.
quite cool. Actually, that's a good point.
Because I wanted to see how I ended week 1. You know, I was just not happy enough with the average. So I added here a starting weight. I also added the percentages here. And I also added the formula here that calculates it when I add this. So that then I get it and I don't have to add it manually. And to be fair, MyFitnessPal is funny because these numbers sometimes don't add with what MyFitnessPal has. I think, not sure why.
Why?
I don't know.
Wait, what numbers did you add together? Sorry, what?
So I added the formula here so that calories equals proteins per 4 calories a gram.
Oh yeah, I see it.
And well, numbers...
why MyFitnessPal wouldn't connect with it? Because some of the fibers, some carbs that you have is high fibers.
That's what I
you wouldn't count. So did you the Sunday? Is it just you made up a number and you just put it in?
No, I forgot. So I tracked at lunchtime and then I just gave up.
Okay, so we don't actually know how many calories you had.
No, I don't.
I would say straight off the bat, your fats are quite high unless that's the type of diet you prefer to have. Because when you see on your fats, you don't really go to the number that you've set yourself. And because fats are highly calorific, if I were you, for example, what I would do, I would take off 8 grams of fat. So this and add eight. I would put 70 grams of fat as your goal, as your macros goal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here. Yeah. And then I would add 18 grams to your carbs.
Okay, so more carbs. So having like instead of 39 and 30, probably 30 and 40 here. Okay.
Yeah. So it will be 153. So you swap those numbers. So instead of 135, 153. It's not a big difference. Also, your protein. I know I said 2 grams per kilogram, but you are barely hitting just above 1 gram, right? I mean, you had one day where I think you ate a chicken because you were fed up. And you just literally went to Nando's, you had a whole bird, and yeah. That's great. I mean, you
So
know,
this week I'm doing a bit better. Look, I hit 100 grams
that's
yesterday
perfect.
and
That's perfect. So I
Tuesday.
would like you to start. So what I would like to see is you starting and yeah, change the carbs to 153. When you change fat to 70, the carbs should change.
Mm-hmm.
Also,
Why more carbs?
I was expecting that your formula's percentage will change automatically. So that's quite disappointing, but it's okay. It's okay. I mean, I was waiting for it, but like, look, to no avail. First off the bat, what you're doing great is you are tracking very religiously. Um, sorry, are you
Yeah.
with me? So my wife called and um,
But I
I
have a question. I have
yeah,
a
go for it.
important question. Why are you telling me to reduce fats and add more carbs if I
Okay.
am still hitting? So if I am under the calories that I should, why does it matter to you if I'm eating more fats than carbs?
Actually, it doesn't. You know what? It doesn't. What it is, so it doesn't matter to me if you eat carbs or fats. You are usually people are either sort of have carb preference or fat preference. A lot of people, most people that I know, prefer carbs, right? I mean, you are just snacking on a potato, right? So I mean, you can't tell me you prefer fats if you're snacking on a potato. Who
Yeah,
snacks on a potato,
I usually don't
right?
snack on potato. That has been just because they were there.
Right,
Usually that's
very convenient. But anyway, so so basically, and when you look at the macros, sort of percentage wise, fats have the highest.
yeah,
Fats requires most calorie, right?
yeah.
So 1 gram of fat is 9 calories versus 1 gram of carbs is 4 calories. So basically, and then when you look at sort of in terms of your in terms of your health, optimum health
Mm-hmm.
is, for your sexual health and your joint health is around 30%, right?
Okay.
There is no added benefit to you eating 40%. When you diet, you can reduce it safely to 25 to 20%, right? But going below sort of 15 and 10% may really impact things like your periods and things like that, right? So that's why I said you can always, set. I always set fat at about 25 to 30%. And then protein, I set between 1.5 to 2 grams per body weight. And then whatever I have left, I use for carbs. That's
Okay.
literally, so carbs are always the last because the thing is, protein you need for survival, fats you need for survival, carbs you need if you want to have a happy life. But you don't need them for survival. So whatever calories you have left, you put them into carbs.
Okay.
That's how I would do it. That's why I ask you maybe remove some from fats because also you weren't hitting those fats, on the spreadsheet. So I'm like, if I were say every day you hit between 78 to 80 grams, I'm like, maybe you do prefer a higher fat diet, which is great. You will feel a bit leaner. The one thing when you eat more carbs, what do we tend to experience is this sort of water retention, because for every gram of carb, your body needs to draw 3 grams of water to digest it. So, for example, when you will just stop eating carbs for a day, you feel quite hollow in your tummy. You feel like, oh, I lost weight. You haven't. You just basically have less water. You weren't digesting the carbs. That's all that it is. So, however you want to do it, more carbs is fine, more fat is fine. What is important to stay within the calories and try to hit the protein. What I would like you to focus personally, because also shred is not, it's a bit of a misleading name. You're not going to be shredded because that would require you to literally starve yourself on the carbs and fats and bump the protein much higher. But it's about safely losing weight and losing fat as a majority of your weight. So the important bit to remember here, you want to lose between 0.5 to 1% of your body weight per week. So in your case, it's between 1.3 to 1.6 kilograms a week. So for example, and it's usually going to be in between. So your difference for week 2 is already what I would say you slowly losing the right amount of fat. However, the downside of it is if you're only going to stay with 0.5%, it can be quite demotivating. 0.3 kilograms is a larger poo, right? So if you want to obviously be motivated, you can be a bit more drastic about it. But what you're doing is really good because
I am satisfied. Like I'm genuinely not demotivated at all.
oh, that's perfect. So,
I am not
but you will
demotivated.
be. You will be at some point. It's just a very natural thing. As you go, you have to make more and more sacrifices, less and less snacking on, potatoes, and then you'll be like, okay, this is not fun, but it's not supposed to be fun. You're supposed to have a very firm goal that you just have to hit every time because it means something to you, right? So, but how you started it, I think is perfect because you eating almost 50% or a third at least more protein from week 1 in week 2. So that's smashing it. If you could continue in that trend, you would hit your goal by week 3 and your weight is losing on point. So Miriam, if I would be you, I wouldn't change anything at the moment in my diet. I would literally do your Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday and Sunday like you started your week.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay. I still need to eat a lot of protein. I'm on 60.
Yeah, I mean that has to be a conscious effort. But I don't know if you've seen the post I posted on the group today on Trainerize.
There's so much there.
I know, but if there is a picture. I basically
Oh
yesterday,
I couldn't believe that's 1,300 calories. There is a
it,
freaking massive packet of those banana things
but
that I.
only two sorines. Sorry, from that packet, I only had 2 sorines out of 5. So if 2 sorines out of 5, so basically I bought a protein bar on the way home today, and now I'm at 150 grams of protein.
And then there is so much sugar. Like you have 4 pieces of fruit. I barely eat any fruits to just keep my sugars down.
Yes, but if you think about it, that is it's half fructose, half glucose, so you're not really putting anything on. It's high fiber. It's your vitamins. Like for your health, I would say you want to be hitting 3 to 4 portions of protein a day, and 5 to 8 portions of fruit and veg a day. Like
so
if you think about it, if you have 4 portions of protein a day, 5 to 8 pieces of fruit and veg, you drink 2.5 liters of water. I mean, I can guarantee you will not feel craving. Your weight will go down. Your skin will look better. Your energy will go up. It just requires a conscious effort. But skipping the fruit because of the sugar content, I mean, you are just eating a potato.
Again with the potato, I don't usually eat potatoes.
Well, I caught you with a potato.
For my daughters.
That's all I'm gonna think about. Is I'm just saying, don't skip the fruit for sugar. Like fruit's good for you. And also, what fruit I had there? Satsuma.
Yeah, fair enough. The only bad one is the banana, I guess.
Well, it's not bad. It's just higher in calories.
Yeah.
Apple, to be fair, apple would be higher in calories in this example because it was a small banana.
Seriously?
Yeah, apple would be about 100 calories.
No, I have apples. I sometimes have apples or like berries. That I do eat.
Like berries are perfect. You know what I mean? Like
yeah, I
think
sometimes.
If you can afford it, have a punnet of blueberries every day.
Thank God I can.
Good.
You know what? I don't eat breakfast, right? So with the amount of things you can eat in a day, I don't find it. So I try because I eat breakfast but late, like at 11, let's say. Okay. But then I eat 2 eggs because I have to higher my protein intake. So I have 2 eggs for breakfast. And then I have yeah.
Sorry, so what was the question?
Like, I cannot believe that I'm not hitting this protein target because I have 2 eggs for breakfast. I have lunch with protein.
Yeah.
And then I have a protein shake for snack and a protein bar. And then I eat protein for dinner. And then still like that, I'm only eating 2 grams.
Yeah, I mean, okay. But so I always say try to eat between 20 to 40 grams of protein a day, right? So 2 eggs is 12 grams of protein.
Portion, you mean 20 to 40 per portion?
Yeah, 20 to 40 per portion. So like your 2 eggs is 12 grams of protein. So, I would say 3 eggs would be a better option. because
Okay.
then you're hitting the 20 grams.
Okay, gotcha. I didn't think of this. Okay, so
Or you can have 2 eggs and baked beans if that's your thing, and then you have 20 grams.
okay, gotcha. I'm gonna think about this, about the grams per portion. I never really.
Yeah, so 20 to 40 grams it will sort you out, because you just told me you have 3 meals and 1 or 2 snacks a day.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
if you have that will be between 80 to 160 grams of protein per day.
Okay.
So that would be like the easiest way to check. Because
Okay.
yes, everything matters, like the whole protein amount matters. However, for your body to start building muscle, it needs to what's called a muscle protein synthesis. And that doesn't start until you sort of hit around 20 grams. And the older you get, the more you have to hit per portion. That's why the older we get, the more protein per portion we should consume.
Okay.
But also it's a bit tricky, because the older we get, the less we want to eat. So, it's a battle as well. It's a mental battle as much as sort of, doing what's right for you.
Okay. Perfect.
Okay, that makes sense?
That makes sense. Yes.
No worries. Any other questions?
No.
Okay, so I'll go back to answering those questions. You can either stay on the call and we can watch you booking flights to Dubai, or you can get off the call as well.
I am
It's
going.
recording as well.
Oh my God, now everyone's gonna know what I'm doing. It's okay. I'm gonna
It's
leave so
okay.
that I stop embarrassing myself in the
No,
recording.
you're not embarrassing yourself. I'm embarrassing myself. It was actually great questions. I think it will be very useful for people as well.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I will see you tomorrow in the gym, probably.
Thursday, yes, tomorrow. But I did hurt my back last week. That's
Oh, no
why
way.
I don't know how, and I don't even know if it's the gym, but I had a very bad lower back pain, which my money is on the deadlifts. So I'm gonna do some yoga tonight and see if I feel better tomorrow. But I should be in, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, move, be mobile.
I do
You
that.
have to go much heavier than you'd normally do for it. Maybe your sleep was affected. Maybe there's a lot of stress happening. All those things sort of matter. If you didn't, the always good thing with the back is, as long as you didn't shit yourself or piss yourself, your back is probably a muscular strain on the lumbar section, on the lumbar fascia. So if you can sort of move around, if you can be mobile, please do. And I would always say, come back and do the session, because we can always take it easier and change
Yeah,
movements
I'll
if
do
needed.
that. No,
Sometimes I would say staying away from the sessions is probably the worst thing you can do from both physiological and psychological point of view. That
do you
would be
know
just my opinion.
I swim on Tuesdays and I yoga on Wednesdays. That's why I never go. And then on Mondays, usually I go to the office. That's why you never see me at the beginning of the
Right.
week.
Okay. So I will see you tomorrow.
Tomorrow, yeah.
I will see you tomorrow, and then we can sort of look at the back as well, what sort of movements,
Okay.
if any, need to be changed.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
No worries, Miriam. Bye.
Bye.
So going further, it's okay, buddy. So I hope this answered most of the protein. So yeah, I mean, tips on upping the protein. Baked beans, as I said before, baked beans you can put on your toast. You're adding another 10 grams of protein. Baked beans on toast is actually a high protein meal, believe it or not. So eggs with beans, chicken sausages, turkey bacon, all that stuff is help. No, any advice on reducing carb intake? Better options for staying full without as many carbohydrates? What a good question, because you know what? Carbs never make you full. What makes you full is fat and protein. So protein and fat has highest satiety. So in anything about hunger, you have two things. You have the volume, which is basically that's your stomach, how much food you can pack into it with the least calories. And second is your protein, so your insulin response into your blood, you're having some nutrients. So if you want to stay full, make sure you have your veggies, your fruits. And I know, they have carbs, but they have fuck all carbs and calories. Make sure you have your veggies, your fruits. Make sure you have your protein between 20 to 40 grams per portion. And make sure you have some fats in your meals, because that's, so you have a full egg or a chicken thigh, because these things will keep you full. And also, if you want to look what carbs keep you fullest, look at food satiety index online, food satiety index, and you will see that, for example, white potato is the best thing to keep you full. Way better than anything, way better than sweet potato that is like 4 times the price. It has more sugar anyway. How consume the required protein without going over on the carbs? I mean, you just focus on the protein. It's two different macronutrients, so shouldn't mix them. So that's it, really. I'm going to end up now. There was loads we spoke about. Miriam table was very helpful, so I hope you all get something from that. Thank you very much, and see you in the gym and on the next week Q&A.